Shawnee. Welcome back. So I did have on makeup, but I took it off. I was working. The lipstick is kind of still holding on, but that's okay, because, yeah. I wanted to tell y'all about my experience with somebody stealing my food. And I needed more people to know beyond Erica, Jan, my mother, and G. I've already told them the story, but I need more outreach, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and with one of these Colored Rain paint bases. I think I'll use this one in the shade Wheat. And go ahead and put it on a palette. Okay, so I go into my office a couple times a week because I have some people who would rather come in person to have their session in person rather than doing virtual, which is fine, right? Because I also need to use my office. So there's one day where I finish early, so I finish about like 2 or 3, and then the other day I tend to finish 6, 7, whatevs. So on the day that I finish later, it already takes me an hour or more to commute to work and then an hour or more to commute back, right? So if I'm getting done about 6, you know, and if I just get out of the office immediately, get to my car, blah, 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 I mean, what, like 6:15, 6:30, I'm heading out the garage. So it's gonna take me until about 7 something to get home, right? So at that time, if I haven't made like food earlier in the week, I don't have anything to eat for dinner, right? Unless I'm like, oh, I have a bagel or something, right? But if I want a meal, like, I don't have time at that point, or I don't have the energy at that point really to cook. So what I like to do is I like to treat myself once a week. And when I'm at work, what I'll do is I will order some food, have it delivered to my office, and then I'll take it with me and go home. And I order from the same spot. This restaurant is called BB Bop. And it's sort of like a Korean food version of Chipotle. So, you know, I get a little bowl. I usually get purple rice, which is like brown rice. I'll get chicken or steak or Korean barbecue beef. And then I put a lot of veggies on there. Carrots, broccoli, all kinds of stuff. It's real tasty, okay? So there have been times where I've ordered it earlier in the day and just decided I was going to eat it throughout the day in between clients, right? Something just fell, but I can't see it because my boobs are in the way. Okay, so yesterday, I was like, somehow, like my 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, all my later in the late afternoon, evening people needed to reschedule. So I was going to be done at like 3:45. So I was like, ew, I'm going to get to go home and be home early and everything. So I was like, I'm going to order my little bowl and have it delivered at like 3:45 when I'm done with my session, and then I can grab it and I can go. I'm not even gonna stay late and try to do anything. I want to get on the road before everybody else. But honestly, if you don't leave DC by 2 o'clock, you're gonna be in traffic. So I was like, I'm gonna still be in traffic, but I'll still get there earlier than I would if I'm leaving at 6. Now, I thought that I would combine the Glaminatrix Into the Night palette with the Melt Gemini. Okay, so let's see. So I think I'll start. Maybe, I don't even know if I'll need that palette, but I'll start with the Glaminatrix one. Okay, so I was like, it was right before my session, right? And I was ordering on the app. And it was just being kind of crazy. And initially it was like, do you want to pick up in store? I'm like, no, I want it delivered. So I got it all figured out by like 3:01. So I hop on, it was a virtual session. So I hop on and I was like, I'm so sorry. I just had to order my dinner or whatever. And my clients, most of them, except for this one, that they're pretty like, they care about me, right? And so they were like, oh my God, like, go ahead and eat. I'm like, no, it's fine. I'm gonna eat after. So anyway, we have the session. Great, loves it. And then I'm like, okay, it's about 3:50. I'm gonna go ahead and get my food. Now here's the thing. The building our suite is in, it's just full of professional people, like medical doctors, therapists, like that's pretty much the entire building. So I know that food gets delivered there often because, you know, like if you're in one of these fields, a lot of times you don't have much time in between your patients, and I usually have 10-15 minutes, and that means I have to fit so much in there, doing my notes, answering emails, answering texts, going to the bathroom, having some water, having some coffee. You know, the time goes real quickly. And so a lot of us will just order and have stuff delivered. Now, the way it works is mainly we'll say, please leave at suite door, because there's a code to get into our suite, and we're not just going to be giving that to everybody and anybody, right? So there have been times where some of my suite mates, because it's a suite of 5 offices, right? And we share a waiting room. So sometimes one of my suite mates will order something and it's left at the door or whatever, and one of us will just grab it and put it by their office door or put it in the kitchen, whatever. So there have been a couple of times, obviously, where I have ordered and I put on there big, bad, and bold, please leave at suite door. I put it on there like several times, you know? And I've had, it's gone fine up until yesterday. Usually somebody will leave it like at the door, they'll hang it on the door, whatever. Mind you, my name, you know how it'll say like blah, 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 MD, PhD, MA, whatever. My name is right there at the top. And my name is also on the like receipt thing or whatever for the food. Anyway, so I pop out my office. I'm so excited. I'm like, I can't wait to eat my food. I'm about to get out of here early. Child, I don't see the food. And I look and there's a text and it's like, the dasher confirmed that they handed the food to you. Okay, now a lot of times I don't use DoorDash because I've had too many experiences where the dasher will dash away with my food. Kid you not. So, but the thing is, the restaurant like contracts with DoorDash. So it's not, that's the delivery thing that they use, right? Personally, I would prefer that they didn't, but whatever. It's been fine so far. So I see that it's like the dasher confirmed that they handed the food to you. Now I'm like, where? I don't have food in my hand. So I'm like, oh, well, maybe one of my suite mates picked it up for me. So I go into the kitchen. It's not there. Also, I'm not smelling the aroma. I'm not smelling the aroma of the Korean beef. I'm not smelling it, right? I'm not smelling the teriyaki. I'm not smelling the yum yum sauce. I don't smell any of it. So I'm like, what is happening? So I'm looking up and down the hallway like, did like one of the clients place it by somebody's door or whatever? My foolish behind also goes back into my office and I'm like, why would it be in here? You were in here. How would somebody sneak by you and put the food on your desk? So I don't see it, right? So I start calling the person, the phone number. It's like, or the text is like, please call your dasher or whatever at this number if you can't find your food. So I'm like, where did this person put this food? So I called 4 times because also I had a text from the dasher with my bag of food. Like they took a picture of the bag of food. My name is right there and then my name is on the door. These two match. Okay, these two match. So I'm like, you know what? Maybe they left it at the security desk. So I go down to security, right? And I ask a home dude, I'm like, did anybody leave any food? And he's like, no. And I was like, look at this picture. They were delivering it. And he was like, you know what? I do remember somebody coming in. So the person, like I said, had not been answering their phone. Finally, they text me. No, I text them first. And I was like, hi, did you leave the food somewhere? And they text back and they're like, I'm on my way back. I'm coming to you. And I'm like, okay, but why'd you take the food? That's what I'm texting. He's like, oh, well, you didn't answer. And so, you know, a lot of times people say that they don't get their food when I leave it at the door. And I'm like, understood, but it says leave it at the door. Like, because to me, at that point, I'm responsible. Like, if you left it where I told you to leave it, then I'm responsible for it, okay? Leave it at the door like I asked you to. And I was like, but then why did you send me a picture? And why does it say you handed it to me? There was a confirmation. So I'm trying to figure out why you did all that and my food is not sitting by the door. And it must have been a while because I don't even smell the aroma of it. Right? So I'm like, you know what? Let me just, it's no big deal. You know, they probably just left and they're going to walk right back because the restaurant is right across the circle. It's not that far. When I've had time, I've walked there and got my food myself. But listen, I did not have the time, okay? And I also didn't want to be all like hot and sweaty and gross. And like, it was already like, I didn't have the time to do it. Because I had also planned it in a way where I could get my food and rush to my car. And pay the $22 to get out of the garage, right? So I was like, okay, well, I'm in the lobby, so you can just bring it to me. 10 minutes pass. I'm like, there's two, like, you can enter from one main street and from the other. So I'm looking at both entrances. Like, where is he at? Sidi is his name. Where's Sidi at? Other people are just coming in and out of the building. And somebody was like, oh, do you know if this certain therapy group is in this building? And I'm like, oh yeah, it's on the 8th floor. Like, I'm helping people figure out where they need to go. Y'all, 15 minutes pass. And I message him and I'm like, where are you? And he's like, oh, I'm coming. There's just a bit of traffic. So I'm like, traffic? Because even if there was traffic in the circle, DuPont circle, it wasn't going to take you 15 minutes. Like, so I'm like, well, where are you? And he's like, it's just taking some time. Please be patient. I was like, sir, at this point, it's about 20-25 minutes that I've been sitting here in this lobby in my heels, looking like a fool, standing next to what's his face, the security guard, just waiting for my food. And the security guard was like, did you order something hot? I was like, yeah. He was like, your food cold now. I was like, I know. And we were both like, he took your food. He's not bringing it back. 30 minutes goes by and I'm like, you know what? I don't want this food no more. I don't know where you are. Okay, because you are not anywhere in DC. You're not anywhere in DuPont Circle. You're not, because it would not have taken you that long. I'm like, he probably on his way home in Maryland, like, or Maryland, as people say out here. Because it don't make no sense that my food is not here. It just doesn't. You can't be anywhere near. You're not on Connecticut Ave. You're not on Rhode Island. You're not on Massachusetts. You are nowhere in the vicinity, okay? You didn't head on down to the White House. Like, you're nowhere near. And I'm texting again. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to just go back upstairs to my office. And I'm like, I just guess I'm not going to have the food. So I call the restaurant and I'm like, hi, you know, I ordered like an hour and a half ago to have my food delivered. And, you know, the person said that he left it. But he didn't. Like, it's not here. And I was like, I order at least once a week. And they're like, oh yeah, we recognize your name, like we know. So they decided to go ahead and refund me, because part of me was like, well, I could just go to the restaurant and I'm sure they'll like make a new one and I can pick it up. But now I'm like, I'm gonna be in traffic. So I just need to get on the road and go home. Mind you, I think, what had I eaten yesterday? I had like a bagel thin, not even a full bagel, you know, the thin ones. I had a bagel thin with some cream cheese and I had some coffee, because I was like, I'm gonna have me a big old meal later today. And I was also so busy that I didn't have time to eat my little Belvita snack bar. When I tell y'all, I had like the taste in my mouth. I was like, this is gonna be so good, because I figured out the combination of ingredients that's just perfect, right? Home dude keep texting me. And I was like, you know what? It's fine. Keep the food. Keep the food or give it to somebody. And he's like, no, I don't want to do that. Please be patient. Then he was like, may Allah and God bless you. And I said, may God forgive you for stealing my food. That's exactly what I put. And he keeps texting. And he shows me a picture of my food. Or he texts me a picture of my food on his passenger car seat. Sir, when I tell you I don't want that food, I'm gonna need you to go ahead and keep it or throw it away or give it to somebody. I don't want that. I don't know, like, why you done have my food for about an hour and it's sitting on your passenger seat. That don't make no kind of sense. That don't make no kind of sense. Because also in one of the text messages, it was like, your dasher is having a hard time finding your building. No, you're not. No, you're not. Because when I tell you, like, this building is right in front of your face. And nobody but me is going to get lost trying to find it. It's right there, okay? It is right there. Y'all, I'm still sitting here upset because I did not get my food. My stomach was growling. I'm stuck in traffic. I know Rose about to cuss me out because her food, me giving her food is late. And I just wanted my food. You know, when you have a taste for something and you like, that's all you want. And I was like, this same restaurant is in Maryland where I live, but it's like 20 minutes away. They're not going to deliver. And who knows how long it's going to take me to get up over there, right? And so I called G and I was just whining. And he was like, well, do you want me to bring you some food? And I was like, I'm like an hour and a half from home. It don't make no sense. I called my mom. I was telling her the story. I was telling Erica and Jan the story. And Erica was just as incensed as I was. Because I'm like, there are a couple things that you don't play with me, okay? You don't play with my mama. You don't play with my money. You don't play with my mans. You don't play with my food. Okay? Don't. Y'all, oh, it was so... And I'm not one to, like... I'm not gonna yell or like scream at service folks, because you're doing me a favor by going to pick up my food and delivering. I tip well, right? So I'm like, I'm trying to hold it together because I'm like, I don't know, maybe he needed that food more than I did, but I'm also need him to stop saying may God bless you or God's gonna bless you. Listen, thank you, but I want my food. I also told him he ruined my entire day. Because he did. I don't know if you can understand when you just have that taste in your mouth, okay? Oh man. And the thing is, why did you take it? I don't understand. Why did you take the food? And it's not even like he took it back to the restaurant. He didn't leave it at the security desk. He didn't leave it anywhere in the entire building. Why did you take the food? So that's what why did you take the food? And why did you send me the picture? And why does it say that you confirmed delivering it to me? Like, you lied through your actual teeth. I know I'm going on and on about this, but y'all, if you understood how hungry I was, I like, you know, I was hungry. And I just wanted my food. And I I was really confused. Like, okay, you didn't deliver it. All right, fine, whatever. Whatever. I hope you choke on it. But why did you take it? What was you on talking about? No, I don't want it. Yes, you do. You do. I don't even know if there's any food left in that little bag. Like, that's the part I could not get over. I mean, I couldn't understand any of it. But why did you take the food? What? You didn't go back 5 minutes and leave it at the restaurant, which I could almost understand. I could understand that. I could understand you leaving it at the front desk, the security people. Why you take my food? Where you take it? You are not in the area talking about there's traffic. Where? Not if you right here, there's no traffic. There's no traffic. And if you're close by, there's no traffic. It's not going to take you that long. Child, and I was so pissed. So I get home. I haven't taken nothing out of the freezer to defrost. I had nothing to eat. I ended up having another bagel thin and a can of butter toffee peanuts. And then I was just like, I'm done. I'm done with the day. I still want my food. Dude stole my food. So this is the finished look. I ended up only using the Into the Night palette from Glaminatrix. Pretty much I used these 3 shades here. They are On the Rocks, Showbiz, and Cocktails. I could use a good cocktail right now. That's also the end of my story, y'all. I just had to get it out. Hopefully by next week when I ordered that again, everything will be okay. No, I'm not going into... Anyway. I hope that some of this was helpful, and I also hope that you are continuing to take care of yourself. I would love it if you liked the video, and I would love it even more if you subscribe to the channel. Let me know if you can relate. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.